This message is sweet. It's going to taste good to your taste buds if you're in a certain place. It shouldn't taste bitter. You should be able to digest it. It should be like honey. Well, my topic is being stiff-necked, disobedient, and rebellious. So we're going to go to Exodus chapter 32, verse 1 through 14. And it reads, "And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him." Now, excuse me, 32. And see, the children of Israel, when Moses led them out of Egypt, he was in the mount talking to the Lord, and because he was up in the mount a little bit too longer than what the children of Israel expected him to be, they started acting a fool. And so they started complaining and murmuring, and they wanted their own God. They wanted their own false God to follow. And this is what I don't understand, because they seen the hand of God move in their lives and in other people's lives. But they didn't want to wait on their leader. They wanted to be how they wanted to be. They wanted their way. They wanted how they wanted things to go, their way. And they said unto Aaron, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. And Aaron did it. And when I was reading this, I was like, Aaron know better. He know better. Why did he make them false gods? See, Aaron gave the people what they wanted. And when I was reading, it didn't say nowhere in the word that they said, if you don't make us these gods, we're going to split your throat. Or that nowhere in the word was Aaron under pressure. Because if he was under pressure and he was being threatened to make these gods, then maybe it would have been a better understanding. But none of that happened. He was willingly, he just gave the people what they wanted. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool. After he had made it a molten calf, they said, These be the gods of Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast of the Lord. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. So they was down there having a demonic party. They rose up, they played, they were singing and dancing. And when I read the word, I visualize it. I'm like, God, they down there twerking. They was twerking to their gods. I said, boy, Lord have mercy. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have debased in character. They were infected. They were tainted. They were decayed. They were caused to be dishonest, disloyal. They became low morally. They became perverted. They became utterly waste. And that's what they did to themselves. They corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought us out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. They were stiff-necked, and they were rebellion. And we all know that rebellion is likened unto the spirit of witchcraft. So you ain't got to be no witch to operate in witchcraft. You operating in witchcraft when you be in rebellion. And a lot of times we like to say, ooh, she a witch. Look at you, watch, you see how she move her hand? She twinkle her nose. You better watch her. She a witch. No, you a witch when you being disobedient. You a witch when you being stiff-necked. You a witch when you being rebellion. That word stiff-necked is churlish, cruel, grievous, hard-hearted thing, heavy, impudent, obstinate, prevail, roughly, sore, sorrowful, stiff-necked, stubborn, in trouble, arrogant, haughtily, unwillingly to yield. So when you're stiff-necked, all the things you've seen that the Lord has done for you and for others, you're stubborn, you still won't yield. You won't yield. We got to have it our way when you stiff-necked. We don't want to follow the leader. We don't want to follow nobody else that's another leader. We don't want to do that because we stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient. That don't want to be corrected. Unwilling to yield to anybody or anyone or any authority. Now, I'm not saying follow somebody that's up and down in their emotions. 1 minute they high, 1 minute they low. And I'm not saying follow somebody who's always on a merry-go-round. I'm not saying follow somebody who don't read their word, don't live the word, don't live what they're preaching. Don't read, I'm not saying follow somebody like that, but I'm saying follow somebody who has some godly, oh Lord, I can't say this word, fruit. Obey those who have some godly seeds. And there are some good fruits, and there are some bad fruits. And the good fruits come from Satan, and the bad seeds and fruits the good seeds come from God, and the bad seeds come from Satan. And Moses was truly a man of God that had some good fruit within him. And the crazy thing is because we'll rather follow someone who has bad seeds, bad fruits. And then when I was meditating, I came to a conclusion that the reason why is because you follow what's in you. So if you got some evil in you and you're following, that's because it's in you. So it's the same seeds. So you follow what you are. So when you stiff-necked, stubborn, and rebellion, you need some correction. Because you're doing a thing perversely. You're doing it in a twisted way. You're doing it your way instead of God's way. And I know we got kids and we love our kids. And we think our kids are the world. That we think our kids are so innocent. But, nah. But I'm getting a little ahead of my message because I got to tell y'all something about concerning my son. But when our children act up, we really don't discipline them. We let things slide. And because we didn't discipline that seed of rebellion and stiff-necked, we should have disciplined it when it was a small little mustard little seed. And we just winked at it, and we didn't discipline it. Now that thing growing up, now that thing got big. Now that spirit of rebellion is huge. And before you know it, it's blown, well-grown, blown. And we need to be corrected. And we don't want to be corrected because we feel we have this independent spirit. Now, there's two ways you can look at independent. I ain't talking about that independent, that single mother, single father, and I'm independent. I'm taking care of my kids, and and I'm paying my own bills. Not that independent. I'm talking about the independent spirit of I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody telling me nothing. I'm my own person. That independent spirit. And see, in the natural, we can be 40. The world age, 40 years old. And so we say we grown. But in the spirit, you only 2. So how are you grown? That's the worldly age seeing you're grown. So you're not independent. You still a toddler. So correction means to set or make right, to point out or mark the errors in, punishment or chastise, to rebuke, punish in order to improve. So when being corrected, God might whoop you. God, he ain't gonna whoop me because I'm a child of God. I'm the apple of his eye, and I'm the head and I'm not the tail. And he will whoop you. Yeah, you will get a whooping. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6 says, for whom the Lord loves, he chastises and scourges every son whom he receives. So if you a son of God, you gonna get a whooping. If you not getting no corrections, you ain't getting no whoopings, and you might need to rethink who you serving. You might need to rethink, who you following after, because God chastises his kids, but Satan don't. He don't chastise his kids. He let them run buck wild, do any and everything. God don't want no spoiled, rotten kids. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24 in the NIV version says, whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. So when you really love your kids, you have to discipline them and raise them up the right way to the best of your ability. So that means we have to start at a young age. And because we didn't discipline them at a young age, and we see that they're acting a fool and acting up, we're just winking at it. But then when they grow up, now your kid's hitting you. Now your kid's punching you. Now your kid's trying to give you a black eye. Now your kid's trying to give you an uppercut. Because it was not corrected when it was little. And y'all know we got some bad kids. She supposed to be speaking good. What's she up there saying bad? Can you speak the word? We got good. No, we got bad kids. Acknowledge it, accept it, and then healing will come. We know our kids bad, and they ain't innocent. Because I thought my son was innocent. My son Marquise, he couldn't do no wrong. That's what we think. Until I went through his phone. I'm winking at it. Oh, look at my baby. He got all the girls. The girls like him. Look at that boy. Then I go through his phone and I read some stuff. And I was like, in denial. That ain't my son. It's under Marquis' name, but my son didn't say that. Little Chris, did you write this? Marquis didn't do it, but he did. I grabbed my heart. I went back like Fred Sanford. I said, Lord, Lord, I know that ain't true. I know it ain't true. I know it ain't true. But it's true. Disobedient, rebellion, and being a stiff-necked isn't the seeds from God. They are seeds from the devil. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? In another translation, it says, turn into a degenerate plant of an alien vine. So God planted us a noble vine. And when I looked up the word noble in the Strongs, it didn't have any number in it for me to look it up. So I looked it up in the college dictionary, and it means of an exalted moral character or excellence, imposing in appearance, magnificent, of an admirable high quality. So he planted us with a high, exalted moral character. He planted us as excellency. He made us magnificent. He made us admirable. You should be admirable. And he made us with high quality, a holy and a right seed. He gave us stability, certainty, truth. He made us trustworthy, assured. He established us. He made us faithful, right, sure, and true. So he planted us a fruitful plant that should flourish, that should blossom, a seed of prosperity. We should be prosperity. We should look prosperity. We should live prosperity. We should think prosperity. We should act prosperity. Because that's the seed how he planted us. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange or alien vine? How did you decline in physical, mental, and moral qualities? How did you diminish in quality? How did you fall from high or moral qualities? How did you lose structure or function? How did you revert to evil? Being disobedient, stiff-necked, and rebellious, knowingly will cause you to be a degenerate seed of a strange and alien vine. Exodus chapter 34, verse 10. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. And Moses besought the Lord his God, and said, Lord, why does thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thy own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto thee, give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. They were such a stiff-necked people. They were so rebellious. They had this independent spirit, this stubborn spirit. And God said he was going to wipe them out. I'm going to wipe all of them stiff-necked rebellion kids out. had to stand in the gap and say, God, he gave God back his word. And God didn't wipe them out, but he plagued them. See, we might not get wiped out, but we're going to go through something if we don't turn. And you don't want to go through something that when God take you through something because you rebellion and stiff-necked, because he going to have you really repenting and saying, Lord, get me up out of here. And no, I'm not going to get you out till you learn your lesson. You still going to be stiff-necked? No, God, I'm not going to be stiff-necked. He said, I know your spirit. You don't know you. Soon I lift up off of you, you're going to be rebellious and stiff-necked and disobedient once again. So I'm going to let all this happen to you until you really come to yourself. First Samuel chapter 2, verse 16 and 17. And if any man said unto him, let them not fall to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as they so desirous, then he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force. Wherefore the sin of the young man was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offerings of the Lord. They talking about Eli, bad little wicked boys. Now Eli was very old and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel, and how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Now, they were taking the money, they was taking the offerings, they was sleeping with the women in the congregation, they was just doing all kind of wicked stuff. They was doing all kind of ungodly stuff. Verse 13, for I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquities which he knoweth, because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. I said, when I was reading, I was like, God, well, why you kind of mad at Eli? I mean, he told him. He did tell him. He was like, what y'all doing? But he didn't have no force behind what he said. He really didn't stop it. He just winked at it because he loved his boys. I mean, he's seen all the evilness, but he just didn't stop it. They made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. That word vile means to be, cause, make light, easy, trifling, abate, curse, despise, shiftless, worthless, idle, or frivolous conduct, foolish, delay, or waste of time. So I was like, ooh, okay. Well, I know one of the words out here is trifling. I said, so I'm going to go look in Strong's. I'm going to look up trifling. Because we say that word all the time. Ooh, he's so trifling. She's so trifling. So I went to the Urban Dictionary. I went to the Urban, how we speak it. Trifling. When you trifling, that means you constantly lying. Always up to no good. Sneaky. Suspect. Whorish. Always scheming, conniving, a person who tends to meddle in business that's not their own, or mess with others' personal lives, possessions, and or money. Frequently, dirty, nasty, someone who thinks they are being cute, messing with other people's lives, wrong, untrue, and messed up in one's mind. Now that's what the Urban Dictionary says. So we have to, it's time for correction. It's time for us to correct our kids and quit winking at all this evilness. Because you know what? I got a little nephew, he's 3.5 years old. And, oh Lord. Can't say nothing wrong about her little bad boy. He bad. But accept it, acknowledge it, and God will help you. But yeah, I used to tap him on his hand, and he tapped me back. And I'm like, oh, look, he just hit me back, Shelly. You better stop hitting your TT back. Now he hit me like a grown man. I'm like, and now he talked to me crazy, disrespectful. Shut up, TT. Leave me alone, TT. Quit looking at me, TT. Turn around, TT. Be quiet, TT. And I'm like, I should have stopped that seed when it was a little mustard seed. Now he grown. Now he talking back to me. And I gotta we should correct our children at a young age, because they 4 years old and they walking in your high heel shoes as a boy. Oh, he want to be like his mama. Look at him walking in them high heels. Boy, take them off. Because we winked at that, thought it was cute. That seed grew up. Now he got his hands on his hip, switching. His lipstick is popping better than yours. He calling all the boys in the yard. His milkshake calling them in the yard. Because we didn't stop it. We didn't cut it off. So, we got to discipline our kids. We got to correct them, and we wonder why they talking back to us now. We wonder why they fighting us now. We wonder why they ain't listening to us now. We wonder why we just wonder why. Because there's no correction. No correction at all. So it's turned the other way around. Now you the kid, and your kids the parents, the mother and the daddy. So we listening to what the kids say. Go over there, mama. Okay. Sit down, mama. And you better not look over there. Look straight ahead. I want to praise God. I want to praise God. Sit down with that tambourine. Because we the parent, we only two in the spirit realm. So let's work on this independent spirit, this rebellion spirit, this stiff-neckedness and disobedient, and get it right and stop being hard-headed. And that's all I have.